Hello and welcome to the 40 to 400 podcast. I am your host, Jamie Daire. Thanks for checking out the podcast here. Today we're doing episode 3, which is entitled Practice Makes Perfect, question mark. The reason why I've referred to it as practice makes perfect question is because, yes, practice does make perfect. That's what they've all said from the beginning of the time. Then other people say that perfect practice makes perfect. Uh, those are all great concepts, and they're encouraging, and they're to get people inspired to practice more. To me, I've always had to overthink everything because that's what I just naturally do. Uh, and one of the things that I realized that I always felt very interesting is that um, effort is everything. Effort is the most important thing. They always say practice is the most. No, effort. Because if you don't put in the effort, you're not going to put in the effort to practice. So what it really does boil down to is your own personal drive and your effort. If you want to play, shows in your local area, or if you want to play shows in bigger cities and out and tour and all those things. Listen, newsflash, spoiler alert, yes, you have to practice, but you have to put in the effort to practice. If you don't practice, you're not going to get any better. That is honestly 135% true. I know it from experience because there was a time that I did not put in a lot of practice because I just didn't want to put in the effort or the time. So basically, what I would do is, sit down. If I had to learn some songs or whatever, I'd always wait till the last minute and I'd just learn them. And then I didn't know them very well because I rushed through them to learn them rather than just practicing them and just trying to make, the best out of the practices that I could. Um, uh, there was times in my life where, I've really been structured and put in a lot of time and a lot of practice. And those times that I put in for a lot of them songs when I would play them on stage or in front of other people or even for myself, I would always feel so much more confident in naturally because I practiced them. Um, when I started this podcast, I made it very clear that one of the main reasons why I wanted to start this podcast was because I wanted to hold myself accountable as a player, a bass guitar player, I'm just a musician in general, and as my personal self, because I've been a person that enjoys working hard. Um, and whatever you do, you have to put in the effort to get better at it, which requires practice. Happiness is just like music and anything else. It also requires practice. If you want to be happier, whether it's in your life or just with yourself or with your playing, uh, you have to learn how to do that. And it's not an easy road. Just like learning to play scales and to learn to play the fundamentals of playing the bass guitar. You do have to put in the practice. Um, I'm going to bring out the bass here because that's what it's all about. So again, I'm going to bring out Ray here. This is how, you know, focused I am at this. I wanted to show you guys a real practice and what it's like for me, and the things that I feel when I do it. Okay, that actually wasn't terrible. I did not mean to plug that in to that port. How funny. So, yeah, I did not mean for that to have sound in there, but hey, it's there, so I guess I don't need to use the speakers at this time. So, with that being said, let me get this tuned up. This is a 5 string. So, the first string in standard tuning is a B. The second string, which is the A, the E, the A, the D, and the G. Let's see where I'm at. I'm in half step down because that's where we practice and play at, is in half step. And because I don't have multiple basses yet, 5-string basses, I just have to change the tuning on this. And that's okay, because eventually I'll get another bass guitar, or sorry, I don't know how loud that is for you. It doesn't sound very loud for me, but that doesn't mean it is for you. Oh man, and you guys can't hear that. How funny is that? Well, that's good. I'll unmute it here after I get this tuned up. That's funny. I actually find, let's unmute that and see what happens here. Bam. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. I'm just going to unplug that because I need to feel confident in the sound. So let's put it through there. Mute that. So again, standard tune is E, A, D, or B, E, A, D, G on a 5-string. That's the thunder there, as I like to call it. It's the money maker, if you will. Yeah, I remember when I first got a 5-string, it was awesome. We played a song by Scotty McCreery called 5 More Minutes. And the chorus, I remember it was like G, E, C, D, and then E, G, E, C, D, and then it does this little thing where it does like an E, D, C. So during the bridge of that song, it was like, "Is 8 years old?" Some so in the song where it goes down to the C, I played the octave lower as soon as I got a 5-string, and it was like E, D, low C. And when I hit that note, everybody, there was that show just looked around at each other when we hit the last note of the song. And we knew we played the song pretty well. And we knew that we hit that ending together as a band very solid. But that low C, it just fills the room with an ambience that you don't get with a 4-string guitar. I'm sorry. There's no way you can do that. Not saying that that's for everyone, but that's what I enjoy about it, and that's what works for me. When it comes to practices, what I like to do is I'll find a song, and then I will work on the patterns of it, and I will try to figure out, the main parts. Like the last one I learned, if anyone that knows this song knows it goes. That's How Country Feels by, is that Chris Young or Randy Houser, one or the other? I think it's Chris Young, yes. But we played that song on stage many times. I mean, definitely more than 10. And it's funny because I always like to play the main part, so I learned the part. And then the chorus itself, is where in my head when I'd be practicing or when I'd be playing it, I would get messed up because a lot of the country songs and pretty much songs in every genre, they generally hold a chord structure, a chord pattern, a four chords pattern. So that one there is in the key of E. And if you want to know if it's a 1, a 4, a 5, and 6, or 3 and 2, all that, I understand it, but I can't explain it fast enough because I'm not knowledgeable enough on how to do it. I know it's an E. I know it goes to a C. So if I've learned theory kind of correctly, so you have the E as 1, F 2, G 3, so E, F, G, A, B, C. So C is the sixth note of that C or the E chord structure. But what I have a hard time grasping, and I guess that's why part of the reason why I'm doing this, is because I'm getting to the point where I know like I mean obviously I've learned, I'm digging in, so I've learned the C major scale. And what the C major scale is it's a C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, which is the root. So what you do is you learn the pattern of it, and the pattern for this one is 2-4. So it's C, D, 2-4 as in your second finger on the C, your fourth finger on the D, and then it goes to an E, which is the next pattern, which is 1, 2, 4. Starting at the E, 1, 2, 4, the fourth finger, 1, 2, 4. So together you have 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Then your next pattern in the C major scale is 1, 3, 4, which is the first fret, third fret, and the fourth fret. So again, it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, root C. Pattern is 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. And these are just things you can learn online. I've learned them on YouTube. You just go starting on the C, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. So you have 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. Backwards, 4, 3, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2. So I thought that was really cool because I started learning that. And then what I realized there is, I don't know if anyone that's messed around with a C major scale is kind of cool because you can take it right up the string using the same exact pattern. Because that pattern you can apply anywhere on your guitar. So if you're in a key of E, which is your E, you can still do the pattern 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. I believe that is the Ionian 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. Yeah, the Ionian position, because there's 7 positions with Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian, or Locrian, however you say it. What they are in theory is still a C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, or a D, E, F, G, A, B, C, root D. It's just where you find the pattern. So like the D pattern would be D on 1, and then E, F, so 3, 4, because you skip a fret in between, so 1, 3, 4, and then 1, 3, and then you do a side shift over and you go 1, 2, 4. Sorry, let me get back to the pattern. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. Yes, sorry about that. 2, 4, or 1, 2, 4. Starting on the D, 1, 2, 4, or 1, 3, 4. 1, 3, and then 1, 2, 4. And after a while, you know, and I'm showing you guys these things because these are what I've been learning. Like I know I can go. You can play the scales. Me, what I get myself into a rut with is I know that you can change the notes, and I know that in theory they're going to be in the key, no matter where you play them, as long as you're playing them particular notes. But I don't know. I guess I just have a hard time linking them while I'm playing because I have been practicing it, but I have not been practicing it enough to where I'm confidently finding the notes and the chords, and that's why I want to show you that. But going back to the original song I was talking about that I was practicing, I played it many shows. I've been singing it and playing it, but I learned that the chorus is E, C, G, D, and then the same notes, E, C, G, D, then it's E, D, C, D, C, right? Yeah, C, because it's in the same the same progression the whole song with those chords. But you always have a variable every time you play it. You can play it with a low E. You can play it with an open low E. See how they sound completely different? Really low on the 5, kind of punchy on the open, and then you have your octave. So every time we would play that song, I was having a hard time in my mind trying to know which one goes to the lows, which one goes to the higher octaves and things like that. So I sat down with the song and I focused all of my attention on the bass line. Usually I have a hard time paying attention to things and just really like focusing on it, so I have to do it over and over and over and over to build it into my mind. But that song, honestly, in all the time I've played bass guitar, it is by far one of the most fun riffs that I've learned to actually play. I can't break it down and show it to you guys in exact note for note and everything like that because I'm not doing that kind of video, but I will. Maybe I'll do a play along where I play the whole song with the song and put it up, and hopefully it doesn't hit me for copyright. But since I'm not making money, I guess that's okay. But it's pre-chorus goes C, D, C, D, and then it hits the chorus, which is that E, C, G, D, E, C, G, D, and then it goes low E, D, C, D, low E, D, low E, low D, C. So together the chorus goes, let your hair down, get you some of this laid on back, kick your shoes off, get you some of this low down fast, I'll take you up and down those hollows and hills, let me show you how country feels. And then the only other part of that that it variates on the bass is during the bridge where it goes, let your hair down, get you some of this laid on back. He actually does this really cool thing. So it's a C to a D over and over. And it goes to the low D. Laid on back, kick your shoes off, let your hair down, And then at the end of the song, it goes from a G, it ends on a low C. And that's why that song just sounds so meaningful at the end of it. It just hits you so hard. That is the money maker, I'm telling you. That sound you cannot emulate on a 4-string bass. That's why I just can't help but have fallen in love with my 5-string. Eventually I'll get another, I'll probably get another 4-string or another 5-string. Or both, probably both, be honest. Because it's a lot harder to slap bass on a 5-string because the strings are a lot closer. It's harder because it requires a lot more practice, a lot more effort, because you have to be more precise, and then you have to stop all the strings around you, everything you're doing, and then before you know it, it's hard to do. But getting it low and all the single punch notes, I'm gonna figure all that out because I just really enjoy that. So what I think I need to do for learning a lot more slap bass is not just practice, but do a focused practice on learning the song. And that's why I was trying to explain to you guys about what I've been doing and what that's again how country feels. That song is so much fun, and I spent the time and I learned it and I grinded on it, and I feel excited to play that on Friday at our next show, because I will be able to play it confidently and sing it very confidently and give our audience a hell of a show on that. That would not happen if I did not put forth the effort to practice. I think I do want to get better at a little bit of slap bassing, because it does sound really cool, and I don't know, it's something like when you're a bass player, it's one of those little things that you kind of should be able to do, because people, love to be impressed, and slap bassing is very impressive, but it does take a lot of effort and a lot of practice, and I seem to get lost in it, so I'm going to learn a song on and practice my slap bass. And after I do that, I'm going to play that, and the fundamentals I learned on that, I'm going to play for you guys on here. I actually think I might know a great place I'll start, and you'll see that video coming up, I'm sure here sometime before long. But practice is just so important because it is the foundation of your confidence. It is the foundation of which your show or your performance is going to be based on and graded on. Sure, they always say don't overthink everything, because the people in the crowd, they're not a lot of them are not musicians. They don't know the fundamentals of it. They just appreciate it, that it has the feel and it has the sound, and it feels good. It makes them want to dance or sing or clap their hands, or maybe even want to learn to play an instrument themselves by watching your performance. But all that stems off of practice. Get to the grind. No excuses, no BS. Just do it. You want it, then do it, because that's what I'm doing, because I want it. I hope you guys stay tuned. We'll see what the next video is going to be. I have no idea just yet, but I am excited for it because it's going to be, a random couple minutes or couple hours and hanging out with me. And today I also want to say a shout out to my buddies in Next in Q. We did an on-air on Sprangboro Sessions, one of the other podcasts that I co-host. We did an on-air when I first got everything set up and started to figure out how to put live streaming at my house in the studio. That will also eventually happen again, I'm sure, with Next in Q and some other bands and musicians. But I have to get some things taken care of outside. My internet, I bought a 200-foot Ethernet cable and ran it out, and it's not working. So I have to get a new cable and rerun it. or I need to figure out this extender, the network extender that I have. So hopefully I get that fixed and I can start streaming performances again. But the first one was with Next in Q. It was my on air with Next in Q. You can check it out on YouTube. Those guys are amazing. The music that they play is so user friendly. You can take their style and their sound and you can play it in any volume acoustically, or you can play it at the big volume, and then it gets crazy. Those boys put on a hell of a show. If you haven't checked them out, you definitely should. Big shout out to you guys, Scott, Adam, Jimmy, and Greg. You guys are awesome. Hope to get you guys involved here sometime soon here when we can. But everything requires practice and effort, and the reason why I haven't got my thing done out there yet is because it requires effort, and I have not had the extra effort because I've been working on my streaming. So I'll get it sorted out here soon. But when it comes to your practicing, no matter what, just do it. Put in the effort. You'll thank yourself. Your bandmates will thank you. But more importantly, your crowd will thank you, because nobody wants to be up there and hit that note where everybody gives you the kind of stink eye real quick, or they're like, make the little face that they noticed something wasn't right. Don't be that guy. Put in the effort. Put in the practice, because being that guy sucks, and I know, because I've been that guy. But I also am growing and trying to be that guy that holds his head high. And when you're out there on the dance floor, or you're back at the table over in the corner, I'm going to be giving you a show, because I've been practicing and because I've been being accountable for myself, and I've been working hard, and y'all are going to enjoy yourself on Friday. We will see you up there. Please stay tuned. See you next episode. You guys are awesome. Thank you.